But Jeff Bezos, Amazon guy, the creator of Amazon, he's made some comments that were sensible along the lines of pro-business, pro-free enterprise. He didn't allow the newspaper he owns to endorse anyone.
The Washington Post.
A very liberal newspaper.
Absolutely.
And he told them the Washington Post, we're not endorsing Harris or Trump or anybody.
And his reasoning was, we need to be seen as being impartial journalists.
Right.
And the owner of the LA Times did the same thing. Different owner.
Anyway, I just wanted to point that out. The three richest men in the world are trending right. They're not right wingers, but
right.
You know what I'm saying.
Right.
Go ahead.
I'll tell you that a lot of this has to do with politics in California. Because in 2014, Elon Musk described himself as half Democrat, half Republican. He was socially liberal, conservatively, fiscally conservative. Yeah. But he had the head of his car company, Tesla is in Fremont, California, which is in the Bay Area. And California, in the last 10 years, has just been brutal on businesses, taxes. It's been blue, deep blue for so long. They saw that it was bad for business, it was bad for people, and these are smart people. And so I think the politics of California certainly forced some of them, or prompted some of them to go to the right.
Yeah.
And
this is the cost, the price that the Democratic Party is paying for allowing it to start being taken over by the cultural Marxists.
The left can never stop itself. They can't stop. They just have to keep going until they're a parody of themselves, and people all realize it.
Hey, listen, Mark Zuckerberg, just to continue on for just a moment, because I just read this. Mark Zuckerberg said that he blasted, this is Zuckerberg blasted fact checkers for being, quote, too politically biased, end quote, and said that, quote, they destroyed more trust than they earned, end of quote.
That's why he's starting the community notes on Facebook. Like he said that Elon Musk did it better than he did. So he's getting away with fact checkers. And by the way, he's also ending DEI at Facebook immediately. Yeah. And he's going with fact checkers.
He's a threat to democracy.
I got to tell you, at least he's a threat to California's democracy.
I think he's wise to do away with the fact checkers, because remember when we were told to pay attention to those people, and they were almost all liberal.
Yes.
Almost all the fact checkers only disagreed with conservatives.
Yes.
And liberals were never fact checked. Remember that?
Yeah. Facebook, listen, you don't have to go all that well to the President Trump's first term, when a lot of conservatives, including us, right here,
people,
we're getting shadow banned.
Yes.
And I forget what the term is for just kind of closing the faucet type. You know, there's names for all that.
Who owns YouTube? Is it Google?
Google owns YouTube.
See, they were the ones, YouTube, who took us down 3 or 4 times. This show, or more. I mean, they had a person specifically designed.
Fred had a contact an inside 4 letters a week, back and forth.
It was crazy. all we would do is say the word. Say it, Ed.
Ivermectin.
All we do is say that word. Or sing it. We would say it or sing it.
Or hydroxychloroquine.
And we get a notice from YouTube. You're banned.
Yeah.
You
violated our community standards.
Yes.
We'd say, well, what community standard did we violate?
Right.
And they wouldn't tell us, but it would always be after a show where we were talking about, this is in the midst of COVID.
Yeah.
That, studies were showing, doctors were saying ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine can help. And nope, we were banned.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, the way they were banning people, not just us and other people, it was like, really? I mean, you can't even, this is America, and you can't even talk about anything that doesn't, that not approved by Dr. Fauci, crazy. But anyway, all right, go ahead, Steve.
Well, let's go to the opposite side of the country. Remember, so things happen so quickly. Remember, a couple months ago, there was this little storm over in western North Carolina, a hurricane that devastated them. And remember, there were some questions about FEMA and their response, whether or not they were responding appropriately and quickly enough. Well, now we hear, so they finally made it, and they started giving some housing allowance to some of these people that are dispossessed. Well,
That are possessed.
dispossessed of their houses.
My bad. Sorry.
FEMA now plans to end temporary housing assistance for 2,000 North Carolina residents on Saturday during a snowstorm. They're taking away the housing of 2,000 residents. They're kicking them out of the hotels.
Well, they've probably got some kind of limited time that you could be on that.
Okay. Even if that's the case,
Yeah.
don't you think that they extended it by 1 day? Do you think they could have extended it by a month or two until the winter storms are over? You're going to kick somebody out in the middle of a snowstorm?
Are they kicked out? I didn't know they had any out to be kicked.
Yeah, they're staying at hotels and temporary housing.
Well, they kind of, North Carolina, I know I've seen stuff posted on Facebook saying, folks, please don't forget these people that are suffering still in North Carolina, because after a week or two, they just kind of disappeared.
That's the way
out of the public eye.
That something else comes up and it goes away. That's one of the reasons that I've tried to stay in touch with some people out there, and every so often I'm going to post stories about what's going on there.
That's another situation. We were talking about the fires, the wildfires. That's another situation with the floods that came, because some of these communities located in a valley, and they get all that water
in North Carolina.
And these floods just
they were a biblical proportion.
Yeah.
Like once in 100 years.
But it's the same kind of thing. How do you rebuild?
Right,
Do you
right.
move somewhere else?
By the way, we need to say this about Southern California, because the worst may not be over. Now that the forestation is gone, the trees and the underbrush is gone, when the rains come, you're going to have mudslides and flooding like nothing ever seen before.
Hold on to the soil.
Nothing's going to hold on, it's going to be devastating again. So yeah, it's only beginning down there.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, for a part of the country that's so beautiful, I've lived in Southern California twice for 1 year each. It is a beautiful part of the country, but I guess like anywhere else, it has its dangers.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like these people living on basically the sides of the cliffs, overseeing the ocean.
Wasn't that the first attraction to Southern California?